Welcome to Brown Partners 2.0. Now, I have a question for you. Who knows about your business? In 1998, I launched my first business. Back in the day, there were free advertising magazines being distributed across Nairobi where I lived. Now, the number one magazine was called The Weekly Advertiser. That was distributed across Nairobi. It was a huge publication. It had a lot of advertising. The next publication was one called AdMag, which was distributed in Westlands. There was a third publication called Neighbors, which was distributed in Buruburu. And there was our Home of Ads, which was distributed in downtown Nairobi. Now, we had seen a gap for businesses which were operating in downtown Nairobi, and we thought we could fill that gap. And so there we were with a magazine that met a particular need, struggling to get people to know about us. We pushed on for many months until finally we had no fire to keep it going. Why? Because while we had a product that was there to meet a need that actually existed, people did not know that we existed. And what we found ourselves is an unfamiliar territory, and sometimes very familiar for entrepreneurs, where you have a good product but people don't know about it, and so you are an obscure entity. You exist in obscurity. People don't know about you. That is a very unfortunate position to be as an entrepreneur with a product. Obscurity, by definition, is simply being unknown, where you exist but people don't know that you exist. So you have a brand or a product that exists that meets particular needs in the marketplace, but only a few people know that it exists. And because of that, you're not able to make the traction that you should be making as a business, as a brand, as an entity. Now, for a long time, the only way to create awareness about our products and brands has been through mainstream media. Mainstream media meaning billboards, television, radio, magazines, newspapers, all of that. But how many startups, how many SMEs, how many medium enterprises can actually afford those channels? Thank God for social media. But before we even get into social media, which is where you're viewing this from, there is something called an emotional connection. I don't know if you simply buy products because you saw a billboard or because you saw an ad without any emotional connection. Naturally, we all depend on that emotional connection knowingly and unknowingly when we are making purchase decisions. The emotional connection could be a recommendation by somebody. The emotional connection could be an advert that basically talked about something that you're passionate about, something that identified a particular need that you have, which you may be aware of or unaware of. That leads you to get that emotional connection with that particular brand. And because of that, you purchase it. Now, it is proven that storytelling is one of the most powerful tools we have to make an emotional connection. Whether you're a brand ambassador, a marketing manager, a business owner, it is important for you, when you're communicating about your product, to be able to make an emotional connection with your consumers. When that happens, then you have a consumer that's going to vouch for your product. So, does your target market know the story behind the product or service you offer? Very few products are developed by accident. On many occasions, an entrepreneur like yourself sees a need, develops a product, and puts the product into the market. Unfortunately, if you don't tell us about your product and how your product solves our needs, how it adds value into our lives, then you're left with a product that is not adding value to your life and that is not adding value to our lives as consumers. What am I saying? You as an entrepreneur, as an SME, as a startup, may not have the funds to go and purchase advertising in mainstream media, but you have a story that you can tell us. And by sharing your story with us on Brown Partners 2.0, then you can reach the consumers that you're targeting and they can get to hear about you. More importantly, we can develop a relationship with your product And as consumers of your product, we can then become your brand ambassadors. And that is what you should be aiming at. In our next video, we shall discuss the role of consumer empowerment in brand development. What does that mean? Basically, we want to show you how your story can help us, the consumers, become your brand ambassadors, and by so doing, promote your product and help you add value to our lives as we add value to your life. We the consumers, you the entrepreneur. Hit the subscribe button and let us know if you have a product story for us. Thank you.